Welcome to Level Up Mechanics. My name is Chris, and today I have Josie with me, and we're going to be installing this hidden light bar for the 3rd gen Toyota Tacoma. Does Josie like the light bar? No, Josie doesn't care about the light bar. Josie just wants to go on a walk. If you have any questions, feel free to leave them in the comments below, but let's go ahead and jump on into the install. The light bar is freaking bright on you, isn't it? Oh my goodness. Okay, so I've already wired up the wiring harness for the actual hidden LED light bar from Diode Dynamics, and the wiring harness, basically all it does is attach the positive cable and then the negative ground right here on the side by the battery, and then we'll have our relay, which I've added right here to the side of the fender. I've just bolted it in using a self-tapping screw. Part of the wiring harness from the relay will go through the firewall and go to a switch that's included with the hidden light bar. However, I ended up using an OEM style switch. If you want to see how I wired everything up for those switches, you can check out my other video on my channel in regards to the OEM style switches. But I ran the wiring for the switch through the firewall right next to an OEM wiring harness over on the driver's side firewall area, and it's located in the back and down in the corner right there. And then the only thing left for the wiring harness would be this guy, and this is the actual wiring that goes to the LED light bar itself. Now that I have shown you the wiring that I've already installed, let's go ahead and get to installing the actual light bar and the brackets that hold the light bar in place. Now the hidden light bar is actually going to go onto the lower grill portion. It's going to sit right behind it. So down here, you should be able to see this little slit right here. The hidden light bar will be sitting behind this slit right here, or the lower grill section. So the first step in order to install the actual light bar and the brackets is to remove the front grill. In order to remove the front grill, you're going to have a 10mm bolt here, or screw, and a 10mm bolt or screw right here. You're also going to have a clip right here by the headlight and a clip right here by the headlight. Some of you Tacoma owners may have some clips towards the bottom of the grill area, but mine don't have that. It's just the 4 fasteners up top, and then it pops out of place. The next step is going to be to remove the shroud on the sides of the core support area that help funnel air to the condenser and the radiator. In order to do that, there's supposed to be some clips right here, one right here, one on the same location on the other side right here. I have already removed those, so after you remove those 1 clips, you can just sort of pop and twist these shroud pieces out of place. And same goes for this side. Just sort of pop it out of place, and we're good to go. Now, the next step is a little hard to see, but you're going to have this aluminum crash bar right here, and it bolts up onto the other side right here. And there are going to be 2 nuts on the outer side of the crash bar, on the outside on each side, and you're going to remove those 2 nuts. They're 14mm nuts, and once you remove those nuts, you can install the bracket on each side for the light bar. Alright, now we have both brackets installed, one on each side of the crash bar or the impact bar. That's that big aluminum piece. You can see a black bracket installed on this side and a black bracket installed on this side. Next step is to actually install the light bar onto the brackets. In order to do this, you'll just use the 2 10mm bolts that are included with the light bar kit, and install one on each side of the light bar and make your adjustments as necessary to point the light bar in the direction that you want the light to shoot, whether it's a little more towards the ground or a little bit more towards up in the air. You're gonna have to adjust it once you install the light bar. Here's the actual light bar that we'll be installing onto the Tacoma. Now, it's important to note the light bar's orientation. You're going to have the wiring harness on the passenger side of the Tacoma, because on the driver's side you have this little metal piece pointing downwards right here. This is a little weep hole for any moisture buildup to escape from the light bar itself, and you want that pointing in a downwards angle. So this is going to be on the driver's side. Again, the side with the wiring harness attached is going to be on the passenger side of the Tacoma. And we'll just put a bolt one side right here and one on the other side onto the brackets, and after which we can adjust the light bar itself. Alright, as you can see, I now have the light bar installed. It is secured onto the brackets. It was a really big pain to install the light bar. The bolts that go onto the side of the light bar are kind of short, and the brackets, you kind of have to bend them in together towards each other just so you can get those bolts to reach the side of the light bars. I've already installed the shrouds back into place. Those I really had to twist and bend in order to install them as well. I think Diode Dynamics themselves say you don't remove them, you just bend them out of the way in order to install the brackets on each side. However, it was much easier to install the brackets with them gone, and since they're plastic, you can bend them pretty far before they snap. The only time they'll break is if they're brittle, at which point, you may need to replace some shrouds. But I was able to bend them back into place, no problem. It was just a pain in the butt to get those side bolts on each side of the light bar installed. I do like the fact that the light bar still allows air to go in through the lower grille. It does not cover it completely, so it still allows some air to move past it to help cool all of the engine components that need to be cooled. I will tell you that for the light bar, they give you a couple options to choose from. You get a driving option, a fog option, and a combo option. Since I already have the Diode Dynamics SS3 Max fog lamps, I wanted to have some light shoot straight ahead and as far as possible, so I chose the straight up driving option, not even a combo, just straight up driving. So when it's nighttime, I'll turn these bad boys on and we will see how far this light actually shoots from this light bar. Alright guys, that's going to do it for this video. If you have any questions, feel free to leave them in the comments below, and I'll get to them as soon as I can. Don't forget to subscribe, and make sure to smash that like button if you thought the content is useful, as it really helps the channel grow. I appreciate your time, and I'll see you guys in the next video. It's time for some water, huh, Josie? Yeah, let's go get some water.